I played Q Transformers for you guys, and I didn't get very far. So it's been a long while since that video, and I figured I'm going to shoot a video now that's going to be from start to finish, everything beaten of this game, unlocking the secret character, and showing you guys the final ending, all the little secrets, all the little nods. But on top of that, I'm going to show you all the little things of how it functions, all the little stuff that's in it, a lot of cool things here and there for this extremely tough game. The little power-ups that there are, the blue speed up, the red speed down, the purple Muteki, which is invincibility, the green bomb, the counterpoint run for the checkpoint, you got the letters, you got on the left side here, you got the, transformation on the right side with the jump. I'm going to cover everything, and of course, the secret character. So this is Protoman Gaming Well Wasted, and let's do this. Alright, so we're going to jump into this right away. I'm going to try my best to do this as possible. So, alright, first level is pretty easy. It's based off of the Wasteland Zone from the very first Mystery of Convoy game. Probably the easiest level out of all of them, which is unfortunate because it's still pretty hard. Otherwise, there's not much to be noted. It has the lamp-shaped bosses from level 9, oddly, which are on the first level here. The Skywarp characters, which are colored like Starscream. You have the crack guys, as they're called, which we just saw there, that look like shrimps. And you picked up a level there, a letter, which is the letter U. The boss here is Devil Star, not to be mixed up with the TFCon exclusive of 2015. Very easy. He doesn't have the Kabusu dragon heads that he shoots at you. So here's level 2. Level 2 is based off of the Temple Ruins from level 2 of the original Mystery of Convoy game. Because it has more of a 16-bit look here, it's a lot more beautiful looking and defined as opposed to the original. You just saw Blitzwing there for about 5 seconds. In tank mode, which also was in the original game. The pincer characters, which appeared in level 4 of the original game, are in this one right here. Here's one of them. I just picked up a Muteki, like I said before at the beginning of the video. Muteki is Japanese for invincibility, like the star in Super Mario. And so whenever you're going to see Muteki on the screen, it means I'm temporarily invincible. Let me tell you something, in this game, you need it. So the boss is the purple Decepticon logo, which in the original Mystery of Convoy game was the boss of the 4th level. Very easy to beat. Unfortunately, the level itself was difficult. Now, level 3, what's interesting about this one is this is kind of a nod to the time tunnels in the original game, which were the vertical levels, which were level 3, 6, 8, and 10. So the time tunnels were these vertical levels, and they were called the time tunnels in the instruction manual and the original strategy guide back in the 80s. But it was really just a vertical level with a, black background. The game wasn't as defined back then and graphically. So now that we have like the 16-bit kind of thing going on, it really does look like a time tunnel now with the background and the speed lines and stuff, which now that it has a more 16-bit coloring to it with the cell phone, it looks great. The only thing I mentioned right there, you just saw, those are the flying saucer guys that were from the 2nd level in the original game, so they make their return here. This is the red Decepticon logo, which was the boss in level 6 of the original game. And pretty easy, straightforward, this guy. Let's take him out. Now we're going to jump into level 4. Level 4 is the Subspace Zone, which was also level 4 in the original game, which was a space level, kind of like infiltrating a Decepticon base. I used to always imagine it in the original. What's interesting about this one is the character of Manchu right here, which I used to always call the RX-78 because he kind of looked like the Gundam. He actually makes his appearance early in the game, where in the original he was only in the Glacier level in level 7. So it's kind of interesting that he appears there, and he's going to appear quite a few times throughout the game. For years, he was actually rumored to be Soundwave, but, I mean, the instruction manual used a completely different name, and me personally, I think he looks like the RX-78 from the original Gundam series. So, that's about it for this level. We're going to be at the boss right now. So this is the Nemesis Decepticon ship, or the Destron ship, or the Destron boat, as it was called in the original manual, and he was also the boss of level 4 in the original. So now we're at level 5. Now, level 5 is a nod to the floating city, which in the original Mystery of Convoy game was also level 5, the floating city. Again, taking advantage of the graphical enhancements that the iOS and Android could do, now has a beautiful background and actually looks like floating battle stations and cities and stuff, where again the original just didn't have that back then. The same characters more or less show up here. You have the lampshade guys from level 9 in the original, the flying saucer guys, you got the sky warps colored Starscreams, the Starscream colored sky warps, the Blitzwings. Nothing really new with this one outside of just that gorgeous background, which I think is more than enough to talk about. We'll get to the boss right about now, which is Bruticus. Not Bruticus, excuse me, Menasor. And Menasor, again, because of the graphical advances, looks a lot more beautiful in this one than in the original game, and easy to beat. So level 6. This is kind of like a half original design level, because the first half of it looks pretty original. There never really was something that kind of looked like this in the original game. But then when we get about, like 2/3 into it right here, then it really looks like the second to last level in the original game, level 9, the underground machine city. Especially like right here. Like at this point now, it starts to really start looking like it. And not much else that could really be said. Just picking up the letters here. At this point, you guys can probably figure out what the name is for this character that I'm trying to unlock with the letters here. Magn. Take a guess. It's getting pretty obvious, and just like in the original game, it's going to unlock someone if we get all those letters. So the boss here is Bruticus. Bruticus, actually, they took the original sprite and they remolded the head a little bit and made the crest a little larger. I don't know, maybe just to make the hit point a little easier to hit. So he's toast. Now we're at level 7, and level 7, again, like in the original, was the Glacier Zone, which was the ice level. What was notable in the Glacier Zone in the original was, again, Manchu, that we just passed right there. He made his first appearance in the original. In this one, he's all over the game. And what was also notable about the original Glacier Zone was it was the one that had Optimus Prime's face in it, which he was absent in the rest of the entire game. But since this one, Optimus Prime is one of the main characters you could use, and Bumblebee, both Bumblebee and Optimus Prime's cameo appearances in the original Mystery Convoy game are kind of not needed because they're both the main characters here. So we got a Mudeki here, or Muteki here. Pretty easy stuff, this one, actually. This one's actually pretty simple. It's a easy pattern. We picked up the bomb there, which kills everything on the screen. And the boss is Megatron. Megatron was actually the second to last boss in the original game, and in this one, he's also the second to last boss, but extremely easy to beat. The last level is level 8, which is, again, another space tunnel. I guess just because in the original game, level 10, the last level was a space tunnel. And again, unlike the original where it was 10 levels, this one is only 8 levels. And I think anyone who's played the original game could probably take a guess who the original boss is. The level's actually pretty difficult, this one. Everything is kind of thrown at you. There's a lot of pits. There's a lot of stuff to make you drop. Took me a bit, actually, to beat this one, and that's why the editing is all over the place with this, because to be able to complete this in a single run and make everything look smooth together was pretty difficult. So the last boss is Triptychon. Super easy to beat, not very difficult. He practically only shoots like once every couple of steps, which are easy to jump over, and he is toast. Now, of course, it says the message here, Optimus Prime wa sugoi, which is pretty much like, wow, you did very well at fighting. You cleared the game. Wo tatakai. Demo wa nashi. It's pretty much the saying, congratulations, you beat the game, which is very difficult, so on and so forth. And because we got all the letter pieces, we've unlocked the character of Magnus, aka Ultra Magnus, which is a white repaint of Optimus Prime with some red accents, which is now unlockable in the menu screen. So can we play with Ultra Magnus now? That's more or less it that can be noted about this game. I mean, I just beat it very quickly, but only after a lot of editing and stuff to show you everything in a nice, quick stream. Definitely a lot harder than the original, but, I mean, you need to have those Energon cubes and buy them in order to get far in this game. The last thing I just want to mention is the odd thing was they actually left out a lot of enemies from the original game. There was a lot of random enemies that were in this game that weren't really based off of anything. And I mean, those they could have thrown in this game all over the place, but they didn't use a lot of them. They only used select characters like Crack and again like the Starscream drones. But what was interesting was they also left out a lot of the named characters in the original game. Like there was a Starscream in the official Starscream in that game was this like Sunstorm colored Starscream that appeared. And he was actually a warp character where if you got him, he would warp you levels ahead. And it's kind of funny that they didn't put him in there because that would have been a cute little gimmick to have him for a warp ability. But then again, I guess they wouldn't be able to make money with selling Energons, well, like most cell phone games do. Ratbat was left out also, which was weird, and Laserbeak too, which, I mean, they could have just thrown them in there just to add more, hey, there's Transformers in this game, not just random stuff. And the blue Decepticon logo, but that's not really too much of a big deal. And, whatever. It's a blue Decepticon logo. That's more or less that could be said. But I just wanted to show you guys the complete run of the game. There's literally no one that has ever recorded this from front to back beaten. And I figured it was kind of my duty to run you guys through this and show you the whole thing. So this is Protoman of Gaming Well Wasted and the Protoman Gaming Network. And this has been a little playthrough of Mystery of Convoy Returns, the iOS Android game. And I heavily suggest not spending money on this. It's a free download if you have a Japanese account, but don't spend money on those Energon cubes because this game can be beaten very quickly if you just memorize everything, and the payoff isn't really that much. So until then, guys, take care and keep on gaming.